Although the focus centers on 2 vehicle losses, a closer examination uncovers hidden victories within the experimentation process. In the field of hypersonics, the lines between success and failure often become indistinct. 2 chances, 2 failures, 2 vehicles lost to the Pacific Ocean. April 2010. The story is clean. Too clean. The first flight reached hypersonic speed, then lost control. August 2011. The second flight improved slightly, then failed again. Communication lost. Stability gone. Mission incomplete. That's the official version. The Falcon hypersonic technology vehicle was launched thousands of miles from its destination, riding a rocket into the edge of space before diving back into the atmosphere at speeds where air stops acting like air. But what if those flights were never meant to succeed? Because success depends on what you're trying to measure. At Mach 20, nothing behaves normally. Lift becomes unstable. Heat reshapes materials. Plasma wraps the vehicle, blinding sensors and radios. This was not a weapon test. This was a stress test on reality. The first flight lasted only minutes, but minutes at Mach 20 are an eternity for data collection. Every oscillation was recorded. Every loss of control happened inside predicted envelopes. Every failure occurred exactly where theory said it would. Then the signal was declared lost. Declared, not ended. The second flight came a year later. Same vehicle concept. Refined surfaces. Improved guidance logic. Better thermal protection. And again, the world was told it failed. But this time, the failure happened later. Deeper into the glide phase. Closer to the objectives they claimed were never met. So ask the uncomfortable question, why run a second test if the first one already proved hypersonic instability? Unless instability was only part of the objective. What if the real objective was learning how much control is enough? How long guidance must survive before prediction becomes possible? How much chaos is required before behavior becomes repeatable? DARPA does not test to make things work forever. It tests to find the exact moment they stop working. And once you know that moment, you don't need to keep flying. So they called it a failure. They said the vehicle couldn't maintain stability. They said communication was lost. They said objectives were incomplete. But no one outside DARPA knows what those objectives were. Not Congress, not the public, not adversaries. Only that after the second flight, something changed. The program didn't escalate. It didn't rush a third test. It didn't demand proof. It went quiet. Programs that fail loudly usually continue loudly. Programs that succeed quietly usually disappear. What if both flights did exactly what they were designed to do? What if the vehicles broke, but the understanding didn't? Because hypersonic mastery does not require a vehicle to land. It requires knowing exactly how it dies. And DARPA watched it die twice, under controlled conditions, with sensors designed not to save the craft, but to expose its limits. So they denied success. Because admitting success would admit they now understand hypersonic flight, not as a miracle, but as a system. A system that can be predicted, modeled, anticipated. And once hypersonics are predictable, they stop being revolutionary. So the world remembers 2 failures, and DARPA keeps whatever came after, unspoken, untested publicly, and officially unfinished. Because the most effective weapon in the hypersonic age may not be the missile that flies fastest, but the one that never needs to be launched to already have won.